stagnation, reaching out for tomorrow with a world vibration.
And a good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
Yes, indeed. We could leave it a little bit in the background.
Just a mellow, you know?
Yeah, we leave it just a little bit in the background. Yeah, nice.
Good morning, Sonia. Wow, pretty early this morning.
But Sonia early every morning this morning, boy.
Yeah,
Sonia.
like she on vacation, you know, or something,
Yeah.
like she home or something.
Now, I see what she posted earlier. I know what she doing home. You want to know what Sonia doing home now, boy. But she's enjoying herself, man. And we love that. We love that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Folks, it is Hard Talk, and we're going to let you know the number early up, 440-7377.
And 347-329-3101. Those of you on the outside.
I think we have a caller already.
Hi, good morning and welcome.
Hey,
Morning.
Good morning, my friend.
You want me to take that call off, eh?
Sheldon.
Yes, sir. Yes, you're on air. You want me to take that call off, eh? Hold on. Ah, boy, he's gone. I'll give him a call. Let me do that now. Yes, indeed. A beautiful Thursday morning on the Isle of Spice.
Yeah, beautiful.
Nice and relaxing morning. You have a little bit of rain drizzling one or two areas, but
just
generally sunshine.
Cool down the heat a little bit.
Man, heat in the day, heat in the night.
Yeah,
Heat in the
it's
day. Some
beautiful.
people say last night that it's a little cool. Not
Yeah,
by
it
me
was
now,
a-
boy. All you know
yeah,
down
it
in the
was
south
a-
there.
Was a little cool last night.
We
By my
papa.
end.
Bargain
Yeah.
it live and direct.
Yeah. But hey, the heat, wow, we glad for it. Some people just can't enjoy that sort of heat around this time of the year. Wow. Good morning to all of you, wherever you are.
Yes, indeed. And folks, remember, oh no, we said we're leaving it a little, Yeah.
Just to mellow.
leave it a little bit in the background there. Nice? Yeah, we're leaving it a little bit in the background there. Just a reminder of the different meetings for today. You have the other thing there. Nice, great. Yes, so the meetings for today, just to let those of you out there in Carriacou And the Petit Martinique, no, the Brunswick meeting for this evening is off. The minister would be unavoidably absent today. So the meeting that was scheduled for Brunswick at the Golden Rock Club in Carriacou this evening, that is off. Alright, we'll tell you when that meeting will take place instead. St. Andrews Southeast at the Marquee Basketball Court, the Honorable Emlyn Pear and her team will be there. St. George Northwest, they're heading to Mount Moritz. St. Patrick East, they'll be at the River Sally Government School, and St. George Southeast, they'll be at the Marian Multipurpose Center. So again, in St. Andrew Southeast, they'll be in Marquee at the basketball court. St. George Northwest in Mount Moritz, St. Patrick East at the River Sally Government School, and St. George Southeast at the Marian Multipurpose Center. And on Saturday, the teams will be out. St. Andrew Northeast and Northwest, they'll be at the Paradise Preschool in St. David. They'll be at the Current Government School. St. George Northeast, they'll be in Tempe, Mount Parnassus at the First Choice School. Carriacou and Petit Martinique, they'll be up to Petit Martinique at the Petit Martinique RC School. And St. George Southeast and St. George South, they'll be having that joint meeting in Calivini. All right, so that's the meetings for today and Saturday. I'm telling you Saturday meetings because we don't really have a program tomorrow. Tomorrow there'll be a Senate sitting. The CCJ bill will be up for discussion, so no hard talk tomorrow, but you could tune in from 9, especially via 89.5 to hear the Parliament sitting.
Yeah, Sheldon, Sonia is telling us we have no audio. I don't know if you can just check on it.
I wonder if it's her alone that's having that problem. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem as though anybody else is having that problem. So Sonia probably needs to check.
Yeah. If anybody else is having that problem, let us know. You know, so we can do what.
Let's see if it's a Sonia problem or if it's a we problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's a Sonia problem, like that big problem, eh? Yes, the fogging schedule from the Ministry of Health as for today, Thursday, the 13th of September, right? Carrier in St. Andrews and its environs. 5 p.m. today, they will be doing fogging in Carrier in St. Andrews, okay? From 5 p.m. So persons around that area, Carrier and the surrounding areas and so, right, pay attention and support the fogging team in whatever way you can, you know, give them whatever assistance and so. So the Ministry of Health is endeavoring to put a control over the mosquito populations in our communities, okay? So Thursday the 13th September 2018, they will be in Carrier in St. Andrews and in its environs from 5 p.m. Okay?
Yes,
take note.
Indeed. Others seem to be hearing. And let's go to the phone line here.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Jacob.
Soft and nice. Leave it alone. You have about 10 people around here. They say, Miss Jacob, tell Senator Sheldon and Brother Devon, leave it so. Please. Okay, sweetheart?
All right, my dear.
I have a blessed and a joyous day. So you have a nice day, sweetheart.
Okay, my dear.
Okay, Mommy Jacob. Take care.
Bye-bye. You enjoy your day. All right.
Yes, Sonia. I know it was your problem. Yeah.
It's a Sonia problem.
Yeah, it's a Sonia problem. Anna?
Yes, indeed. Hey. Woo. Yeah, boy. Papa Jerry. Wow. He's locked and listening from Calgary.
Wow, Calgary in Canada. Boy.
Yeah.
Way up cold like hell up there.
Yeah, Calgary. Right now I prefer to be in Calvary.
Yeah. I want to be in Calivini.
Well, that's the best. Calivini is the best.
Calivini, not Calgary.
One in Calgary, one say you prefer to be in Calvary, and the next one say Calivini.
Morning, Papa Jerry, and all of you listening, to us. And so we hope you have a wonderful morning, my brother.
Yes, indeed. And folks, it has been a very interesting week this week. Just remember the meetings that are going to be taking place this evening. Carriacou, Petit Martinique, remember your meeting for this evening with the Honorable Kindra, Matthew, and Stewart. That has been postponed. So that will not be taking place in Brunswick this afternoon. Unavoidably, the minister will not be able to make it. So that will not be taking place. And we apologize profusely for this being so. But St. Andrews Southeast, they will be there. The Honorable Emlyn Peard in Marquis, St. George Northwest, Mount Moritz, St. Patrick East. They'll be at the River Sally Government School. That's the Honorable Pamela Moses. And St. George Southeast, they'll be at the Marian Multipurpose Center. So those meetings are taking place. And as we said, Senate sitting tomorrow. Going to be interesting to hear the senators debate or discuss. Debate or discuss the issue of the Caribbean Court of Justice. I'm very interested in hearing each of the presentations.
Very much so.
I think I will avail myself of the opportunity to be there in person. Nice,
Hey, good morning. Stations ID. Sheldon.
97.5
Yeah.
City Sound FM.
89.5 CRFM.
92.9 in Carriacou. Wait, hold on, stick ready. Good morning, Lisa Marie. Lisa, behave.
I'm gonna tell you, leave Lisa alone.
Lisa, behave. Lisa, I don't care, Lisa. Lisa, behave.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning to all the beautiful people in Carriacou
Jack.
and PD Martinique.
Morning, Jack.
Yeah. CKO, good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Fraser, morning. Linton, morning. Tell Lisa behave, eh? Right, nice.
Yes, and Carriacou and PD Martinique, and 94.9 in Brooklyn, New York. We Vibes Radio.
Yeah. What less wait?
What less win?
What less wait?
Kunumunu.
Oh, sorry, now. You know what less is a good fella.
Yeah.
But he's a kunumunu.
He still is a Kunumunu.
Yeah.
Good morning to all of you on the live joining us this morning, wherever you are. It's pleasant good morning. Beautiful Grenada.
Many persons spoke about yesterday's discussion with Pastor Devon Romain, the Caribbean Court of Justice, and many persons learned some stuff that they didn't know about the Caribbean Court of Justice, and you'd realize that there's quite a lot that people may have misunderstood in relation to the issue or not understood at all. And it's been our pleasure to ensure that you have that information, the correct information in relation to that.
Very important. And it's so, it's so wise for all of us Grenadians to seek information. Let's not just sit down and want to decide or let somebody else tell us what to do. Let us seek out the information. Visit one of the forums in your areas and that the CCJ advisory committee is having. And so pay attention. You have questions, the right place to ask. You will have attorneys there who will be able to give you a better idea, something simple you may not understand, procedural wise, and so, all right, I may be able to help you make up your mind. And so hey, pay attention, attend the discussions, educate yourselves more of the CCJ.
Yeah. Right. And this Monday, I know that the CCJ Advisory Committee, they'll be out there at the Ministry of Education and Human Resource, and also at the Ministry of Finance, International Trade and Audit. They'll be having meetings with the staff at those locations. Discussing various aspects of the CCJ and taking your questions and suggestions and so on. Next week, Tuesday, they'll be at the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. And also, I think the community meetings for next week, Thursday, that was scheduled for Mount Horn and so, I think that has been shifted. Yeah, I think that has been shifted because if I remember correctly, next week, Tuesday, we should be heading to the Luke Cinema in Grenville. Yeah, one of the justices will be here, and it'll be a very, very, believe me, folks, I think you need to come out.
Next Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta give that some more, PR.
Sir Dennis Byron, and he's the former president of the Caribbean Court of Justice. He has availed himself of the opportunity to be here in Grenada amongst us and to speak with us and to take questions from us in relation to the operations and the merits of the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice. So he'll be out there at the Deluxe Cinema in Grenville from 6 p.m. next week, Tuesday. All right? Okay, so next week, Tuesday. Yeah. So it'll be a wonderful one for those of you in Grenville and surrounding areas. Yeah, Salisbury Road people and Rivulet Lane. Yeah. All you. Come down.
Telescope.
Yeah.
Subies.
Come up the road.
Marquee.
Telescope people.
Yeah. Harford Village. you know, in these areas, and so right in the surrounding area, make yourself available, and so on.
You know, some of the
be
young
part.
guys in Telescope may be saying, "Well, come on and tell me about CCJ. Why are you interested in CCJ, brother man? Let me tell you something now. Here's what could happen to you, Mr. Young Man, that's on the block in Telescope right now and wondering why you should bother with the CCJ. Let's say a situation occurs in which you and a group of fellas was liming and something pop off and somebody get injured. Not killed. Let me just say they get injured. Right? And you unfairly, you was with the group but you didn't take part in the actual thing. You unfairly have been convicted. And it go through the High Court and you've been convicted and you appeal to the regional court, the local court of appeal, the OECS court of appeal, and the conviction that you get for 10-15 years in jail was upheld. But you know there's good evidence that you were not involved in injuring or maiming that person. Now you can't go to the Privy Council because you don't have money for that, and unless the person had died, you can't get a case go to the Privy Council. And even when the case go to the Privy Council, is until a year after. So you have to spend an extra year in jail. A year after or more that you might finally get a judgment being sent back by the Privy Council in relation to your issue. So young man, you who went liming with your friends and something pop off and somebody was injured, got charged. Next thing it might be a corrupt officer that just decide, no, we don't have much of them, but you never could tell. Let's just use a hypothetical situation that you end up getting pressure and you end up in jail for 10-15 years for something you didn't do, you just happened to be there. But if you can access the CCJ, at least you could have one more chance to get yourself free through the Caribbean Court of Justice. You can't make it to the Privy Council because you're talking anywhere in the region $100 and something thousand to $300,000 to get to the Privy Council, unless you kill somebody, yeah, or you're accused of killing somebody. And then in that case, they would only take your case for free if you are under the sentence of death. Yeah. So if you've been sentenced to hang for murder, that is when they're going to take your case, and you don't want to have to depend on nobody. Next thing you get hanged. You waiting to depend on men out there and somebody down here saying, make an example of him.
Yeah, hang him.
And meanwhile, you waiting for a judgment to come back? Yeah, man. No, it's okay. Although they wouldn't hang you during that space of time. No. To be truthful, they wouldn't hang you in a space of time once you have an appeal pending. Definitely. But it has happened before that they hang people when they have appeal pending. You know, some countries don't care. You know, they say, we're making an example. Pop the neck.
Yeah, they don't wait.
So it is important for you. Yeah, it is important for you to come out and hear about the CCJ. Yeah, let's say something again to you, young fella. It might be a situation that somebody leave a piece of land for you, or you're living on a piece of land and somebody wants to take it to court to get a piece of land, and you have a good case, but you just ain't getting through the courts down here, and you want to try one more time. You ain't have the money to go to the Privy Council, but you could go to the CCJ. And even when you go to the CCJ, there might be the situation where they can assist you, where they can provide the funding for you to be able to do what you have to do. So let's go all the way with the CCJ.
Yeah, the CCJ is just the way to go in all form and shape. When you look around, who you see around you is your neighbor, whether it's your immediate neighbor, and so right here in Grenada, or your Caribbean neighbor. You know, we all got to stick as one and speak with one voice. Understand? I mean, when it comes to travel and so the hiccups that you have in traveling throughout the Caribbean and so on, you feel you're being unjustly treated in a particular country, you have redress in the CCJ. It has happened. Example has been there, right? And when it comes to the bias and so, right, this court, in my view, is very independent based on its track record, right, so far, and the way it has been set up, you know, free from basically almost all interference. And so these are the things that we must pay attention to and understand that, look, you know, it's our thing, right, and we have to play a part.
It's we thing.
Yes, it's we thing.
Yeah, it's we thing. We want it is we think.
We think it's
Yeah?
just, it's time
But
to
the thing
claim
is,
what is ours.
4407377. If you're against the CCJ, we're giving you the opportunity. Call and tell us why. Yeah, why should somebody not vote for the CCJ? We'd like to hear, because we've been hearing a lot
Yes.
about why people should. And it's always good to have a nice balance. And we'll offer you the opportunity to call and tell us why someone should not vote for the CCJ in your view.
In
Yeah?
your view.
In your view. Devon, give them the overseas number.
347-329-3101.
Yeah. So remember,
Okay.
that meeting is going to be taking place at the Deluxe Cinema in Grenville next week, Tuesday, from 6 p.m. So you're going to have the former president of the CCJ, Sir Dennis Byron, and the members of the advisory committee and so on. And something very special is also going to be taking place at that meeting. We'll encourage you all to come on out. Yeah, there's going to be something very special taking place at that meeting. Nice. So all of you in St. Andrew, and so wherever you are in St. Andrew, even if you're in St. David, the top part of St. David, Corinth and so on, and you want to come up the road, yeah, so all of you can come on out to that meeting. Feel free.
Because the more information that you have, you can make a more conscious, right, decision as to what you want to do, and you can help educate others, persons in your household. The younger ones going to school, they may not able to vote in this particular referendum, but it will affect them in years to come. So you want to lay that foundation, right, to safeguard, right, your person, your family, right, and Grenadians in a whole.
But we Wankin been calling us and we don't answer it.
Yeah.
But Wankin, anytime I see you, I don't answer you.
Yeah, I believe he was calling me yesterday and I didn't answer him. My bad.
Wankin?
Yeah.
No, not he. There's a she.
Oh, that's she, oh Lord.
Wankin up at the hospital there right now. I wonder if she off. I know she
Morning,
off.
Sheldon. Good morning, Devon.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. I support the CCG, Sheldon, 100%. I support that. Alright, because something good and it benefit each and every one of us. Brother Devon, and this morning I was listening to Shaggy program. And hello?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Yeah, I was listening to Shaggy program. And this morning someone was asking the question, what benefit the CCJ has for them? Alright? And this person was making a statement. I want the person, whenever they have any meeting, to go out to the meeting and listen what the people who knows about CCJ, right, know what is saying. Don't take third-hand information from people, right? Because when people don't want something, they will come to you and try to mislead you and say it's not good, right? But I want the people who say no to the CCJ, let it go. Let it go, and they will see and listen to the committee members who will speak about CCJ, because there is benefit, there is good, and there is only good for we, the Caribbean people and the Grenadian people. Because if you have to spend less money to do something, that means you got extra money in your hand to do things, right? And you get a faster judgment. But with the Privy Council, sir, you might never get judgment because you don't have the funds to go up there, right? So I encourage everyone to go out. So wherever they have any meeting, concerning CCJ, go out and listen, take in information from the source. Don't take it from any third-hand party. Because you know, when people want something, they're trying to discourage other people not to go and not to vote. But I want to say something concerning the Western cricket. I listened to three representatives from Western cricket, Joe Garner, Mr. Joe Garner, Ral Lewis, and the other guy that was speaking of Western cricket. And brother, as someone who follows Western cricket for a long while, what I saw with the crop of cricketers right now in West Indies, West Indies, they lack the discipline, they lack the attitude, they don't have the attitude to concentrate. But when I'm looking at it, there are 6 balls in an over. You want to hit 1 ball for 6 runs, and next 5 balls, you don't want to get, you can't get no runs from it. As a bowler, when a bowler, you see every time you bowl a ball, you have to bowl to a different batsman. Then that thing upset a bowler. But when the bowler bowl to one batsman, right? You see, when the batsman don't get him, you see, well, I have him. He don't score him. So I do believe Western cricketers, they need to rotate the strike whenever they're batting. Rotate the strike. With the guy from Jamaica, trained Larry Gomes. Larry Gomes was not an attacking batsman. But he had the reflection to reflect to put the ball in space to get the run, turn over the strike. But when you look at Western crop of cricketers now, all they want to hit 4s and 6. Right? They need to exercise more. A form of laziness. Okay, if they run twice and 3 times, they're tired. So I don't want to see I hit 4s and 6. They will still call, rotate the strike to other batsmen. So I want to continue rotating the strike. The bowlers go kind of confused because they all have to bowl to different batsmen. Alright? So I ask West Indies cricketers, many times you want to blame the coach. Also, I don't blame the coach, it's the attitude of the players. They need to be more disciplined and concentrate on the game. To reach the highest marks and to achieve excellent, you must have the right attitude and you must be disciplined to have that, to achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. Whatever and Sheldon, you all want to. God bless you all.
Have a wonderful day, my friend.
What I can say in fairness to the cricketers is this, and believe me, I just get upset at the West Indies cricket team from time to time. It's easy to sit in the stands, listen to your radio or watch on television and make judgment against a person who is standing in the middle of the pitch in the blazing hot sun, who may not be having the best day, who may have an upset stomach, who may not be feeling 100% for whatever reason, and they're standing in the middle of the pitch facing an aggressive bowler with thousands of people in the stadium cheering at them or jeering at them and millions watching on television. It's easy to make a judgment on that person not being that person. So how we see the batsmen attempt to bat and so on. Yeah, sometimes they're a little too aggressive. Sometimes they have to leave it alone. Sometimes we could say that. But only they know what it feels like to be in the middle of the field at that point in time. And I don't want to cast too much judgments on the guys. Yeah? Because my name is not Andre Fletcher. My name is not Nilan Pascal. My name is not Joel Garner and so on. So I don't know what it feels like to be the one standing in the middle of the pitch. And unless we feel and know, then we can make judgments. That's in my view. Unless we know what it feels like to be them.
You know, I think in all fairness, West Indies cricket, I mean, for a very long time, couple of years, we have been going through a very rough patch. And gradually you can see them, you know, making an effort, team effort, administration to get out of it, put in a little more things to make it much better for, you know, competitive for West Indies cricket and so on.
But
you know,
we also have to understand, traditionally, West Indies cricket is aggressive cricket.
Very much so.
Traditionally,
bowling and batting.
Yeah, we aggressive.
Yeah,
they had to put all kind of rules in place to restrict us.
To stop us.
So they restrict the number of bouncers you could have. Yes. They restrict all sorts of things. You bowl in action. Every minute when you have a West Indies cricketer that starts to give them some kind of problem, you hear they get reported for bowling action. Yeah. That's not the fault of the West Indies cricketer themselves. It's just that they're trying to pressure West Indies. Yeah. We know back in the 1980s and before and 1990s, you know, when the Englishmen coming down here, they're walking with extra special protection. Yeah, they have to have guard and all kind of thing, like if they go in and fight like night on them horse and them, and they used to go and joust.
I remember, Sheldon,
the whole side pad up.
Either it was in Jamaica or Barbados. I think it was in Jamaica, one of these places. India declare 95 for 5, you know, and give West Indies 13 runs to go behind to win, all because of the pace that they was getting from Holding and these guys and Roberts and them. They just couldn't take it. They declare, you know, we 95 for 5.
We're traditionally aggressive, and therefore what has been done is that on the world stage, we have to take things in how it happens. On the world stage, the international cricket community, they have put many things in place to restrict the type of play that West Indians are accustomed to. Yeah. But traditionally, many of our young cricketers are coming up with the same attitude now. They want to be a Richie Richardson. Yeah. Anything they pick up with, you know, it going outside the park.
Yep. Or Chris Gayle.
Yeah, that's why when certain people bat in main park in Makano near the stadium,
no.
I'll park it somewhere and take a ride.
Leave it home or something.
Yeah, because you know when Vivian Richards and Richie Richardson and these guys pick up with something, Desmond Haynes and them on a good day. Gordon Greenidge and them pick up with it. And you know, it's outside the stadium, it going.
Yeah. Even Clive Lloyd.
Yeah.
You know, these guys were
And you used to see Richie Richardson and Vivian Richards and them wearing helmet.
No, no time for that.
Yeah, but you used to see the Englishmen come up well padded.
Well padded.
So they've gotten to the stage now that they've restricted many of the things that used to make West Indies cricket what it was.
Yeah, soon, yeah. Ambrose, Walsh, and Bishop.
Well, don't talk about Ambrose.
Oh my
Don't
God.
talk about Ambrose.
Yeah, and then you had the Benjamins, you know. And so it was just
Like last time I wanted to tell Ambrose about the headband. Was it headband or
I
armband?
think
The
it was
wristband.
yeah,
The colored wristband. So
Yeah.
you take it off and he just outdone everybody.
Everybody get
Yeah,
vexed,
you
man.
get vexed.
Say, okay, I give all that a chance. All them watching what they on my hand.
Yeah,
Take
so
that.
it's restrict them kind of thing. So a lot of times we down on the West Indies cricketers. Yes, the West Indies Cricket Board are control. Something serious had to take place there. Let's all admit that.
Yeah,
Something
most
serious had
definitely.
to take place with the West Indies Cricket Board of controls. The methodology that they use in selecting players and so on, the way that they
whole
operate,
management
etc.
style, yeah.
We
Yeah.
understand that. Okay, that's one. But outside of that, there are outside forces working against West Indies cricket.
You know, one of the bright sides, especially for Grenada in West Indies cricket, I think Grenada had one of the better, if not the best, wicket-keeper batsman West Indies had ever seen in Junior Murray.
Mhm.
And I make no apology for that. I'm serious. You know, when you look at Junior Murray's performance and so in the 90s, man, on the West Indies team, I mean, it was something to look at, right? In the tournament with Australia, and so he made his debut. You know, so there are some bright spots, but as it is right now, rebuilding stage, and then definitely the whole management structure and style has to be looked at in a view to make the cricket in the West Indies much more acceptable, competitive, and so for all and sundry within the Caribbean. Because hey, Sheldon, when you look at it, we have a lot of support when it comes to cricket from Caribbean people, right? Once they are performing and doing what it takes, they have the support. Even if they are not performing, right? We Caribbean people, we still support them. And so we have our comments and whatever.
Still our team.
But it's our team. That is
Still
what
our
we
team.
have, right? It's the same thing when it comes to the CCJ. That is our thing. That is what we have, right? That is what we need to build and strengthen for future generations to come. These are the approach that we need to take.
And that's why when it comes to the issue of the CCJ, and we could link it to West Indies cricket as Devon has just done, it's always surprising when people are sort of against using our own Caribbean judges to sit on cases. As I said yesterday, we've had 5 judges on the International Criminal Court. You had Justice Shahabuddin, the late Justice Shahabuddin from Guyana, that would have sat on the Yugoslav trial. That's for the Bosnian conflict and so on. And he was the vice president of the tribunal and so on, and he sat there. You've had people like Carl Hudson Phillips on the International Criminal Court. The former president of Trinidad and Tobago, Anthony Carmona, who was on the International Criminal Court as a judge as well, a trial judge. You've had about 2 others that were judges on the International Criminal Court. So we have people that internationally are accepted.
Definitely.
And are respected, not only in that field, but we've had Nobel laureates from the Caribbean. Pound for pound, we've been punching above our weight when it comes to Nobel laureates and so on. And we're not just speaking about Derek Walcott and Vivian Naipaul and these sort of people, but we have been punching pound for pound. When we look at sports, the world's fastest man is from Jamaica, right here in the Caribbean, Usain Bolt. Yeah? Little Grenada with 100,000 people, 100,000 people, has produced a double Olympian medal winner, gold and silver in Karani James. Which other country our size could say that they've been able to do that? Karani James has won the gold medal at the Olympic Games. He's come back, he's won the silver medal. So he has not only won one, he's won 2 medals at the Olympic Games. You have countries with millions of people don't have a gold medal, you know.
Well, they can't even enter a particular...
India with 1 billion people, ask them how much 400-meter race they win. India,
or even
1 billion people.
Or even to be part of that race.
China,
Qualify.
1 billion people.
Yeah.
Did us have anybody in the finals at the 400-meter? China with billions of people, or over 1 billion people. India with over 1 billion people. Statistically, they should have somebody that they could find.
Of course.
That could make it to the 400 meter. But little Grenada with 100,000. And yet still we look at our people, we look down on our own people here within the region.
Yeah. When it comes to legal, right here in Grenada, look at some of the legal luminaries that we have. Persons that have not just worked in Grenada, but represented the Caribbean, all over. I mean, working within the Caribbean, doing excellent work as lawyers. Dr. Francis Alexis, Ruggles Ferguson, persons like QC, what's her name, Sheldon. Celia Klein, all these guys. We have persons right here in Grenada who has over the years been standing their own, right? We have, when you look at persons like Justice St. Paul and all these persons, we have what it takes to hold our own. We must not fear. We must not be scared to take that next step. Right, to take control of our destiny.
Because are we saying that we're capable in sports, we're capable in entertainment, music industry, people like Rihanna, Bob Marley is known world over, Peter Tosh. You have people like within the region again, or people who may not have been born in the Caribbean, like for instance Malcolm X from right here in Grenada in St. Andrew, and so on. Are we saying that our people can do well in everything, but in law?
Yeah.
Are we good in everything else?
Everything, but not in law.
Something had to be wrong. Something had to be wrong there. So we're good in dancing, singing, we're good in music, we're good in everything. But when it comes to law, we just
sing good. Look,
but as far as we're concerned, because the international community says that we are.
Oh, yeah.
But we seem to have a problem with ourselves.
Look at St. Vincent right there. They were looking to, do some reform in their constitution. Who did they look to? Dr. Francis Alexis, a Grenadian. You understand? To assist them. And so, we must not be scared of what we can do. We have the ability. Let us take that next step in ensuring that we become more independent as a nation. And the CCJ is the next step for us to go.
Yes, indeed. 440-7377, that's the number to get on to the inside.
And 347-329-3101.
Yeah, we were able to tell you 2 GBSS boys on the money, man. That don't mean GBSS own all the money, man.
Hannah, oh, so you used to watch him, Hannah? Okay, you're confessing now.
Confession is good for the soul.
Good for the soul, eh?
But I want you to take a good look at the live, eh? I do not have on any priest collar. You ain't see me wearing no priest collar, so don't confess to me. All right.
And me, despite we all went to GBSS.
I look like I in the confessional. Yes, indeed. I know a lot of persons can't wait for that cricket. It's coming up in February 2019.
25th and 27th.
Yes, indeed. Cricket, lovely cricket right here on the Isle of Spice. It's going to be taking place at the Grenada National Stadium. I'm going to say get your tickets early.
Yeah.
Because the English team usually travel with a heavy contingent.
Yeah.
So if you're waiting for the last minute to try and get a ticket and so on, you may end up in a situation where there's cricket but no ticket. All right? So get your ticket for the cricket early. Yeah, you've got to be in it to win it. Yeah. Buy your ticket today. You've got to be in it to win it.
And what is also well pleasing to us too. We heard the gentleman who is what's his title for the West Indies. He was in an interview. They are trying to make some special accommodation in terms of the ticket prices and so to accommodate persons, and so that'll be real nice. And
we've also heard from the Minister of Sports, Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. Good morning, sir. They've already started the remedial work at the National Stadium, so they've started the process now of they ain't gonna just start to tear down thing and fix up thing and do all kind of thing. They are doing the assessment. So the assessment started since last week. You had a Chinese Grenadian team, so the Chinese who would have built the stadium and so on. So their people are here together with Grenadians, and they're going over the facility now to say, okay, I need to paint a little bit, that a bit rusty, we had to take out that and well back there, and so on. So putting whatever has to be put in place for the national stadium. Yeah. Pretty soon as well, you'll be able to park over at the national stadium, huh? Yeah, it's going to ease the traffic congestion around the town of St. George. And it'll be done in conjunction with a little park and ride. So they'll have you'll be able to pay a fee, either a day fee, a weekly or a monthly fee, and you'll be able to park at the Grenada National Stadium facility. We can have a lot of parking there unused, except when you have things like cricket, and so it's generally unused. Yeah.
And as you say, the park and ride, even whoever would be controlling that whole park, either is the stadium authority or whoever, and the whole question of a shuttle from there to, it's another way again, of making, money, economically.
We've seen the streets looking a lot more open now that the vendors are off the streets. Huh?
Yes.
There's something to say about that.
I had an opportunity to pass through around by Foodland this morning, and it looked pretty all right. The vendors are settling into the market and so. Slightly little hiccups and things, but hey, we got to follow the law and ensure that we do everything all right.
I used to sell on the streets in town too, so I know what it's like. Yes, I used to break the law. I used to sell on the streets in town too. That was a long time ago. Yes, indeed. 4407377. Let me say this, though. I want to say this. And I'll pull in on the music and say this one. There's a bit of unfair thing that going on there. And I really, after the program, have to find out exactly who it is I should speak to about that. There are individuals who we saw selling on the streets in town. Yeah? That do not own the business that they are operating. I don't know if you all understand what I'm saying. For instance, there is one individual, one individual who has about 3 or 4 tables. Yeah. Now you have vendors, you have people, born Grenadians. I know why I'm saying that. Born Grenadians. You have born Grenadians who've been selling in town for 8 years, 9 years, 10, 11, and some of them, if you're talking about people like Sandman and them, they would have selling fruits.
20
Sandman going on 20 and more. These guys have been selling on the streets in town for many years. And you have others who just within the past few months, all of a sudden, become vendors, and they have a table here selling stuff, and they have one there selling stuff, and they have a next one there selling stuff, and they put somebody there and they tell them we give you X amount a week, and they put somebody there and they put somebody there. And muscling out the people who've been in town for many, many years. That ain't fair.
That's unacceptable.
That is not fair.
Yeah.
And some of them are the same ones jumping on TV and radio and calling the newspaper to come and snap them and take the video and say that they had a family to feed, etc. We understand that, and we know that, and we care about that. But it is unfair for one person to want to have, yes, we're in a capitalist society, and we understand in a capitalist society, this is allowed, that a person can have as many businesses as they want and expand as they want and so on within the rules of law. We understand that, yes? But we also understand that there has to be a certain level of fairness, an open playing field. That a person with their one little spot who's been in town since the 1990s or who has been in town since 2008, 2000 and not 208, that would be real decades ago, since 2008, 2009, 2010, they've been vending in town. And somebody just pop up from nowhere at the December last year or February, January this year and take up a space 4 and 5, blocking the road, being part of the reason that the vendors had to be moved to because people couldn't even pass because they're just blocking up the whole area. And then when the businesses complain that, look, we're trying to do business But we can't do business because these people blocking the people from coming inside of our place and they had to complain about it. Yeah? Our customers cannot come and they don't have proper entry and exit from our business places and they complain.
Even the pedestrians.
And these same people, there are people right now. And I ain't saying things that I don't know. You know, I ain't saying things that I don't know. You all know that if I'm saying it is because I know it's a fact. There are people as well who have the space in the market already. They have a booth in the market. Outside of the booth in the market, they still have a table at the edge of the market by the road. Nearly, either sometimes are two legs resting in the road or just by the road. They have another table there. And still have a next one over by KFC, over by the fish market there. And if you give them a chance, they still have somebody else somewhere else in town. Nobody is against that. But, I mean, let's go to the phone.
Fairness. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Sheldon, and good morning, Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
Devon and Mr. Scott, I have to call because what you are speaking about falls directly in my category. Mr. Scott, I've been selling selling vegetable and fruits of my vehicle since in the year 1982, Mr. Scott.
Wow.
The first thing we've been selling, I don't know if you're going to remember, I'm going to remember. When we had all the buses in the market.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of the first person, together with one of the first person who've been selling from vehicle with a small pickup in the market there. Our vehicles to be facing Frenchie store at that time.
Frenchie's Mall,
and
yeah.
let me tell you something, Mr. Scott. During that time, you had all the buses inside of the market there, together with some of the people who come from Trinidad with the stuff we supplied at that time.
Yeah.
And we had other farmers, like in those days, we had the cooperatives and so on. Mm-hmm. Just a few of us used to be selling them, Mr. Scott, up to this blessed day. That's where I accumulate most of my customers and them. And Mr. Scott, I'm telling you straight out, I'm totally against sidewalk vending. Mm-hmm. So I am one of the first person, and I remain, Mr. Scott. Because the reason why, most of my customers and them who knows me, I'm not afraid to call my name. My name is Primus, and you always hear that name in the area of agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
And up to today, Mr. Scott, what I'm seeing going on in town, it never used to be going on. Because what we have now, vendors just appearing, and they are putting first set of people who was there before, giving us the same kind of problem, Mr. Scott. And I'm telling you straight out, I'm totally against it. That's the only way I sell my produce, my fresh vegetable and fruits from off of my vehicle, right in front of the fish market there. At least the police used to be cooperating with us because they were from the market at that time when they would repair the market out to the fish market, and then that's where we end up to this blessed day. Since 1983, the gentleman, the current manager of North Med Association, Mr. Hasty, could tell you that. He was a small young man at that time selling together with his father in the same square market there where all the vehicles and them, Mr. Scott. So I'm saying all that to say that I totally against how some of these vendors are operating. Building these booths and so on, building this structure around the place. No. I'm not supportive to that. And I hope that I will continue to cooperate with the police so that I could make my fair living by selling off of my vehicle. I always cooperated with the police and so on, which I have no problem with, Mr. Scott. And that's how I make my living, from selling fruit and vegetables, right in front of the market there. Thank you, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Friend. Take care.
You see, as saying what I know? Look, one of them called since 1982. Because what has happened, and you can understand, again, we are not against, and I am not against. Hard Talk is not against anybody making a living, earning a living. As I said, me, Sheldon, for myself, used to sell in town. And people who really know me, not the set of people who just say they know me and feel they know me. People who really know me, if you want to know me, go and ask Sandman. Yeah, go and ask Jiggerman and these kind of fellas and them in town. Go and ask them. These are people that know me for real. So I know the struggle, and I know for a fact that is how a lot of people pay the rent, send the children to school, buy food to put on the table, and do what they have to do on a daily basis. Yes, we understand that. But at the same token, you have the grouping now that all of a sudden appear. And here's what happens. You started doing the market. And when you started doing the market, you started to cater. You said, okay, we remove the buses from the market way back when. You remove the buses from the market and you're catering for X amount of street vendors, people who are vending on the streets in St. George. You're catering for them. So you've taken note of X amount of vendors on the streets that you're going to relocate into the market. So you're doing the market, right? When you started relocating theirs, as one move, 3 more come and take up the space where they were. No, that's what been happening. As soon as they move, about 3 more come and take up the space where they were. And then now they're saying, well, we have to get a boot in the market too. It can't continue to operate like that, because now that you have relocated those that were on the streets into there, next thing you see some others. Although I believe that the commissioner and his people are doing an excellent job. They'll continue to keep the people off of the streets there. And you know what I like about it too? I realize that the pre-existing businesses, the stores and them in town, the rules are that they can't put this stuff out on the street either. You can't move the vendors and then them putting out all kind of thing on the street and blocking the sidewalks. Keep your stuff inside.
Inside, you have a store.
You have a store. Yeah, you can't put it out on the street. Keep it inside. I see one of them playing smart here, and out things. So then police pass. No, boss. Inside. Yeah.
Fair play for everybody.
Fear is fear.
Yeah.
Right? So that they have been telling them, look, you can't do that.
And then the presence of the Royal Grenada Police Force too, right around the town, and so, you know, it creates that sort of sense of security, right, in my view, because persons they might attempt, but because they see the police officers there who are willing to enforce the law, they don't take the chance. So the pedestrians and all those persons who are using the sidewalks and so will, you know, have a much more free access to apply their business and their routes, and so I mean, so, it was disgusting, man.
I have to say this to whoever is in charge of giving placements to the vendors. I don't care who vexed with me, all you know me already, I could care less. Who is in charge of placing the vendors, giving people a spot at the market, those vendors that have been moved from the streets? Please try to take into consideration that some of these people have been there 8 and 10 years.
Even more.
And these people are being muscled out by certain people who have 3 and 4 tables and different faces at each of the table. And they put in the table in a way to block out anybody else from getting a space on that tent and that kind of thing. So the people who've been there 8 and 9 years have to go and stand up in the sun. And other people who just come 5 and 6 months ago and they find they was doing good at one table, and they come and they put a next one and they put a next one and was blocking up the sidewalks. And if you did give them a chance, they'd start constructing on the sidewalk too.
Yeah.
No, if you give some of them a chance, they do it too. The ones who've been there how much years, they know the thing go. Because they know every now and again they used to have the issues. So they will put the things in a way and they keep to the side, they do what they have to do. And then when they finish, they take their stuff and they go. But some people started to come, and if you give them a chance, they'll put all kind of things and start to build things. I'm saying to those, whoever is in charge of providing the placements for them,
I think the Ministry of Work,
know what you're doing. Yeah. Know what you're doing. It cannot be a situation that somebody been doing this for how many years, that's how they do their business, and they're getting muscle out. And people that just reach and want to have 3 and 4, just muscling them out. That can't happen. That should not happen. Are done with that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's leave that there. Let's not make something out of basically, because I mean, persons understand and they have been complying, and so, and kudos to the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Ministry of Works for enforcing the law, and to the vendors and so who have been there for their understanding.
They've been compliant.
For their understanding, definitely. You will have some hiccups.
You want to get some new, go and meet them and get it.
So kudos. We meet each other halfway. That is what we want. Together we build.
Yeah. So that's been reasonable.
Yeah.
All right. 440-7377. That's the number. If you want to call, 440-7377. As you say, it's our final program for the week. This week, tomorrow will be the Senate sitting. Yeah.
And we have sent out an invitation to persons who do not agree, or they may have some issues in Grenada as a country going to the CCJ, you're free to call us. Call us and air your views and so and respectively, of course, and we'll see how we can work it out, because together, as I said, together we can and we will make this thing work. You help me, I help you. And
Let's take this call.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning.
Good morning.
How you all doing?
Oh, we're fine.
I was looking last night at the TV and I noticed something in the market with the market vendors. And I was finding out that the people have to go with the load backward and forward. And some of the people can even self have a vehicle to bring the load home and bring it back, and telling them that they have to bring back the load and bring it backward and forward. But that will be hard for the vendors and them, because some of them in our transport, they have to be paying vehicle, backward and forward. Sometimes they self-make something for the day. So how that could be for the people that is just stressing out the people and them.
There's an issue with storage. Yeah, I think there's an issue with storage, and that's definitely one that has to be addressed. Hello? Okay, yeah.
There is definitely an issue, and between me and you, Sheldon, I mean, knowing the market square and so, I mean, there are things that can be done to accommodate the whole question of storage and so for most of the vendors, right? And so, but we just have to wait on the ministry and so to see what the plans they have in completing of the market square.
With all fairness to the ministry, they called a meeting, and they had a meeting for the vendors to come out and air their concerns, and so I think it would have been last week or a week before they had that meeting, and nearly none of the vendors turned out.
Okay. Well,
nearly none. No, in fairness to the ministry, they had the meeting. I think they had representatives of the RGPF there as well, and hardly any other.
I guess apparently
these could have probably been addressed at that point.
Hello.
Good
morning, my friend.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
You're live. Go right ahead.
Everyone.
Yes, boss.
I'm picking up. I hear you.
No, you go right ahead. We hearing you. Oh boy, they gone.
Yeah, we hearing you. Just
caller, you could have gone ahead. We were hearing you, so call us back. I know you'd be listening to radio now. Give us a call back. We hearing you.
Well, based on what you're saying in terms of the consultation and so, if most of the vendors they fail to even turn up to.
Well, you have to understand it from the vendors' standpoint too. Each time they're not out selling, it means that they're not earning money. Remember, they're not daily paid. They're not hourly paid. They're paid by each purchase that you make. So they can't just decide we're taking 2-3 hours off and go to a meeting, because that 2-3 hours is money in the pocket that they're losing.
But also,
and it might be at the peak period for them. So I think that aspect of it was a problem too. So I'm looking at it from the both standpoint.
Yeah, and then but also too, on the other side, having not attending that meeting, it would affect you, things that you're supposed to know. Right, and everything like that. So it's a balance. Yes, questions you could have asked, things that could have been settled right there in that meeting, and so it's still left hanging and so. And then you have persons on the street talking about this is not addressed and so. But hey, it's we got to meet each other along the way. Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello, good morning to you.
Yes, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning to your co-host. I'm hardly hearing you.
Yeah, but you go right ahead.
You go right ahead.
Okay. I'm listening to the conversation, and what is coming to mind is our management system as it relates to planning. Now, we had this thing for a number of years, running battle with the police for a number of years, and the preparation made for a number of years. But where were our planning division in all of this? You cannot put pressure on the vendors to find space for produce that is not sold in a day. Remember, the vendors are coming from Gore, Sotes, Grenville, St. Andrews, and far distances with the load on buses in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
If they does not sell it in the day, do you expect them to put it on a bus and go back? And in some cases, what they sell for the day might not be able to pay the transport. I believe this thing was supposed to be sorted out a long time ago. And so that as you're planning to place the vendors, there will be what you call space, sufficient storage space for the unsold produce. So I am putting that blame squarely on the management, on the planners in all of this. Let me get one observation. If I had to construct the market from what they did, I would have put the booth, the what you call spice booths, along the roadway from that post, lamp post, in front of Farm and Garden Center, right up to what you call cashways. I would put all the spice booths there, apart from those in the market. I would put the new ones there, rather than put the booths in the market in a way that you have it what you call as a landscape strategy. One here, one there, one there. And the space between that is waste space as far as I'm concerned. I would construct these booths along the roadway and leave an open space at the back of these booths, all the booths, that will constitute the open market. So you won't have the spice booth here, there, and everywhere that is, as I said, not being utilized. And then you doesn't have a space for the vendors. That have taken up a lot of spaces that the vendors should occupy. But in terms of the storage capacity, I believe the storage place was supposed to be made before or simultaneously as the construction of the market. So you would not have this, what you call, problem with the vendors having a place to store the goods if there is no sales or at the end of the day. All right?
Okay.
Okay, my
Thank
friend.
you.
Yes. You know, Sheldon, the two original building that's there in the market square,
They were rebuilt, yeah.
yeah, I think in my view they basically underutilized, all right, in terms of like when you pass there and you see what's there and who's occupying it, and
I think
so
a lot of the
yes.
tourists visit there during the tourist season looking for spices, and they have some guys doing leather and other crafts and so in and between. A lot of tourists do visit there. You see, the thing is this. I don't like to speak in the absence of data. And I think it's important to do an assessment of what is available, what is needed, and so on. Especially now that you have the new influx of the people that were around town inside of there. Because there has to be some sort of assessment
Has to be
done
something
at this
has to be done.
stage. At this stage, there must be some sort of assessment done at this stage as to which way, what is the way forward with that.
Yeah.
I think it's important to do that right now. 440-7377. That's 440-7377.
And 347-329-3101.
When we answer, if you are not hearing us clearly, when we answer the phone, you can go ahead. We'll be hearing you. All right, so you can give us a call. Again, those of you out there in Brunswick and Carriacou, that meeting for this evening with the Honorable Kindra Matthew and Stewart, that is off. So that meeting will not be taking place this afternoon. But St. Andrew Southeast, Honorable Emlyn Pay, she'll be in Marquis. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, he'll be in Mount Moritz. St. Patrick East, the Honorable Pamela Moses, she'll be in River Sally. And the Honorable Gregory Bowen, he'll be out there in Marianne. So those meetings will be taking place this evening. We have a caller online.
Good morning and welcome.
Devon,
Morning.
I know you love your GBSS boy, but Julian Murray was never a better wicketkeeper batsman than Jeffrey Dushan.
No, yes. I tend to. Well, I'll tell you what. Jeffrey Dushan, right, was, in my view, was not a good wicketkeeper as Junior Murray. You remember, Jeffrey Dushan became West Indies wicketkeeper in a sort of. Anyway, we'll continue the conversation. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my
friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, good morning.
Long time, Papa.
Yeah, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Oh, we good. Hearing your voice, I'm good now.
Yeah, man.
All right. What I was saying, ever since about the market, Sheldon, there was about, let me say, 500 people was in the market. Now we have 1,500. And I was saying that for a long time. We should have built a double-decker. We should come from on top East Grenville Street. They should have built a double-decker. And they failed to do that. So we're going to have great problem. That was in the beginning when they was trying to say the development in the market. I say you must go up. When When you don't have space, Sheldon and Devon, you must go up. And we failed to do that. We want everybody on the ground. How would it happen? Just common sense. The planning was bad. Terrible. Anyhow, we'll talk to you guys.
All right.
Brother, what I have to say about that is simply this, sir. You want to knock down a building that's posing a public hazard in the town of St. George. You have the Willie Redhead Foundation, you have this foundation, you have this friends that did this and that. Everybody starts to write you and start to go on television and use the worst set of people. And oh, you're selling all the place and you wanted this and you wanted that and you wanted the other. And then by the time you finish all the consultation and the back and forth and so on, the funding that was available for you to do the project in the way that you wanted to do it, gone. So you had to start from scratch again and go back with a smaller project in the first place than you had intended in the first place. Or you have to leave whatever it is just as it is. Case in point, the old Parliament building. Yeah? As far as certain people within the society are concerned, don't knock it down. Don't touch it. Don't do anything. I'm one of the people that like the building and want the building to remain. But at the same token, is the building safe?
Yeah.
Is it posing a threat to people who utilize that area? And is funding available? And we're not speaking here just about funds from the government of Grenada to fix the building, to say that we fix the building. But is funding available to fix the building and have the building utilized in another sense? Yeah? If that is so, no problem. If it is not, then we may have to consider leveling the building.
Yep.
Because it's posing threat to people. You don't want to hear 2 and 3 people dead because you wanted to keep the building. Yeah? When it comes to the market square, I, without even thinking too deeply on it, could see hell being raised about the market used to be this big open space and now you're going with a 2-story thing there. I could foresee a lot of people saying that, oh, you spoil the aesthetics of the town if you go with a double-decker and that sort of thing. What I would have suggested, in my own little way, is that reclaim another piece again. Expand town again. Reclaim another piece and put another market too.
I think we had to add on another piece in Grenada. We can do it. We have
another market.
Yeah.
Initially, remember the initial plans were to extend from the tunnel area. Well, not even the tunnel area, you know. Also to put a ring road around the back of where the hospital is and so. So there was the intention of doing a ring road around there, coming back to where Ariza and all these buildings are now, which used to be the ocean, going all the way up to Cherry Hill. If that had been done, that would have left enough space inside there to either A, relocate the market and have that area in the center of town as more of a park that people could go and relax, and you go and you have lunch there and you relax, and people want to have political meetings or prayer meetings or whatever as used to happen, because the market square is where they used to have political meetings. You can't do that again. You have space there to do it. But that's where I remember attending political meetings in the market square before. Devon, you know, on a certain day, that is the place the meeting was supposed to take place.
That is where the heat does be.
Because that is where it used to be, right? So that's also where they hang a set of people after Federal Revolution. A lot of people don't know that. Right over on the side, a little bit up from by Purcell and them with Jiggerman and them is days where they had the gallows right around there, and they hang all them people after Federal Revolution. But that's another story.
Another interesting thing that can happen in the town, and not just in St. George, Sheldon George's, but also in St. Andrews. And they started doing it, but I think it should be permanent. There are some streets, small streets, right, that are being used and so for vendors, like on Fridays and Saturdays. I think some of these streets should be made permanent vending streets, and so. You know, in my view, that's something I think the planners should look at. Good morning and welcome.
Hello, morning.
Hello, morning.
Devon?
Yes, my friend. Good morning.
Hello, Devon?
You're live. Go right
ahead.
Yeah, you're live. Yeah, you're live. But
And just to answer that caller about the cricket. Now, Jeffrey, I want to clear the air with that.
It's
Jeffrey
perception.
But Jeffrey Dujan got into the West Indies team not as a wicketkeeper batsman, right? And so, but as a batsman. while on the field of play, the wicketkeeper got injured and he had to take that place, and he remained there and made his place in the West Indies team eventually as a wicketkeeper batsman. In my personal view, he was never a better wicketkeeper than Junior Murray. I don't think none of them.
I was kind of a little child, so you know what them kind of
Yeah.
thing. I know about them thing. You had to tell me.
It's
all you had to tell me about that. I can't tell all you about that.
Because the whole thing with he and Junior Murray entered West Indies as a wicketkeeper batsman, qualified. Dujon became a wicketkeeper for the West Indies while on the West Indies team due to the injury of the keeper at that time. Can't remember who was the keeper.
And I'd just like to put out this bit of information for the Diocese of St. George in Grenada, Office of the Vicar General. This is regarding the funeral arrangements of Bishop Emeritus Sidney A. Charles. Bishop Emeritus Sidney Anictus Charles, who died on Tuesday, the 4th of September 2018 at the age of 92, will be buried on Friday, the 28th of September 2018. The Mass of Christian burial will take place at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, Church Street, St. George. The following is the itinerary of activities as we celebrate the life of Bishop Emeritus Sidney Charles. On Thursday the 27th, the body of Bishop Emeritus Sidney Charles will be taken to the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception at 9 a.m. At 10 a.m., a special Mass for students of Catholic schools and Catholic students of non-Catholic schools will be held. Bishop Emeritus Sidney Charles was an advocate for education in Grenada, founding the New Life or NULO organization in July of 1984. The body will remain at the cathedral for the regular midday mass and thereafter for viewing by the general public. At 5:30, a special vigil service will be held. This service will include praying of the rosary, evening prayer office of the dead, and tributes. On Friday, the 20th of September 2018, the body of Bishop Emeritus Sidney Charles will be returned to the cathedral at 9 a.m. The Mass of Christian burial will begin at 10 a.m. Bishop Clyde Martin Harvey, Bishop of the Diocese of St. George, Grenada, will preside over the ceremony. All persons attending the funeral are asked to be seated by no later than 9:40 a.m. Bishop Emeritus Sidney Charles will be entombed in the cathedral crypt below his predecessor, Bishop Justin Field O.P., and above his successor, Bishop Vincent Darius O.P. Thank you. Yours in Christ. That message, I just received it from the Diocese of St. George, the Office of the Vicar General. All right. So the late Bishop Emeritus Sidney Charles to be laid to rest in the crypt at the Immaculate Conception. Yeah.
In the whole of a church.
In between. Yeah. He's going in between the person before him and the person after him. Yeah. Vincent Darius. Mm-hmm. It would be interesting to see inside the crypt. You know?
Yeah, I don't. But as he said that it's forbidden, it's restricted then from any and anybody to go there.
I'm human.
Yeah, human.
And it's human beings that buried there.
Yeah, they know what they have to hide.
It's human beings that's buried there, and I'm a human, so I can't see.
And that's a whole nother
anyway.
A whole nother thing enshrined in secrecy.
Well, anyway, but just remember, folks, and if you're going to that funeral, considering, yeah, I would have go kind of early and not try to be seated by 9:40 because that place go ram early. So especially the elderly, those of you who would want to go there and so on, try and make it down kind of early, and parking will be restricted. You know, you ain't going no parking nowhere around there. So it means that people might be able to drop off and keep moving. You can't stay around, right? So you could drop off and then on your way. So who has to drop you off, that'll drop you and then go and find a park and that sort of thing. So you have to take that into consideration. All right. 440-7377. That's 440-7377 and
347-329-3101.
Yeah. So folks, remember we are out on the internet. We are on Hard Talk Grenada on YouTube. We're on www.hardtalkgrenada online. That's our webpage. And then we're on Facebook, Hard Talk Grenada, on Hard Talk Grenada Live. Yeah, we cannot change the name. Hard Talk Grenada Live on Facebook. Yeah, so you can look up us or look us up.
I just laughing at a conversation going on between Hannah and Sonia.
Yeah, you go and laugh at them. I ain't taking
about
no
Junior.
Me ain't taking no part of two of them. Two of them looking to confess. I say I'm not wearing no priest collar. And I don't have on no priest collar, right? No, why are you trying to confess to me for? Yeah? But again, Devon, I was saying, making the point about the market. If you look to go that double story, you're going to end up with confusion. I think the best option would have been to create a sort of flea market also to an area to the back of the terminal or somewhere to that area there, somewhere along that area there. You could have created a sort of flea market.
And restrict that center there for vegetable and spice market.
Vegetable and spice alone over there, and
then the flea market where you have clothes and other things.
They could also done it in a way so that the tourists, when they come, they could pass through as well.
Exactly.
They want to get some. They want to get some sort of craft or some sort of thing. So the craftsmen and so. You want craft, you go to that area. You want spice and so you go to this area. You want food stuff and vegetable thing to cook. We're making our oil long today. You're going this area.
Yeah. And so
which reminds me, Miss Clytie say you and she's family, yeah? Miss Clytie's a Romain from St. Mark, eh?
Miss Clytie, where Miss Clytie live?
Miss Clytie up in Monjaloo. She said she want to see you, she had to talk to you.
Well,
Miss Clytie, as soon as the program done, call and talk to them.
Please.
Call and talk to them. Miss Clytie keep asking about you.
I really love that.
Miss Clytie is a Romain from St. Mark.
And if you're listening, Neville was my father. Right. The last son of Neville. So draw from that.
Right. Yeah, draw from that. She might be an artist or not. You never know.
And that Neville, she know that Neville. Oh, he was a cock sparrow. So
4407377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside.
347-329-3101.
Yeah, Devon, what else is up for the weekend, man? It's kind of the slow period. The children are back to school, and so September is not really a time you have a lot of activities. But we have the referendum coming up on the 6th of November.
Yep.
And folks, you may wonder, but you realize all of us speak in one voice in relation to this issue because we know it's an issue that's in national interest. We're hearing all sides speaking the same.
Good morning and welcome.
Hi, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I'll pull up the right one there. I ain't fine hearing them. Good morning.
Hello.
Neville was a buckman, not a cocksparrow, a buckman.
What you know about Neville?
Wait, bye-bye, eh?
And yes, Devon, you are related to Miss Clytie.
Oh, yeah?
Look at that, you even know your family.
Well, why the Romain is a
family. Gats will give you more information on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so wow.
Gats, but you are related to Miss Clytie.
Thanks very much, boy. I need to find
out. Listen, the young man who called talking about Dujon a better wicketkeeper than Junior Murray. Listen, let's go back and get a cricket education, please.
Can't
please.
Take part in this thing. I don't know about that.
Need a refresher course. That's what you need. No, this is, but that is just his opinion. But
hey,
you need a refresher course.
All right.
All right, bro.
Have a good day, fellas.
All right, my brother. One love.
Hello, good morning, brothers.
Good morning and welcome.
Yes,
morning.
Yes, good morning.
Go right
the
ahead.
The problem what is now arriving in St. George's with the market and the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing it happening the same way in Greenville, because they talk about Greenville and the vendors live in the streets. And when we look at the market space that we have in Greenville, it is very small. And we will have the same problem. So I hope the authority could look into it at this present time before try to get the vendors out from Greenville, because it will be real confusion again, Devon. And I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. It is small in the market, and there is lots of vendors on the street right here in Greenville. My brothers, you all have a good topic, and you all have a very good day. And on the behalf of the cricket, Junior Murray and Jeff Dujon, there's two great players, so I balance them half 50-50. Thank you.
All you have to be telling me, I don't know. I can't get now.
In all fairness, in Grenville, boy, I think that how the whole thing was designed, and I think we had a great opportunity to finally fix, and put a proper thing in place for the vendors in Grenville. But I think we missed that ball. Right, when it was built.
I'll tell you why that problem is so difficult to fix after this one. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Devon.
Yes, my friend.
Mr. Scott.
Hey, Papa.
Under the tree.
Yeah, because the market thing there,
Before all bosses used to stay in the market and vendors at the same time, and there is no space. So the market gets smaller.
No, you see the capacity. There's more buses, more people, everything over the years. So you had to relocate. All right, because back in the day, you had about perhaps about 10, 12 big boat buses and some small mini buses moving around. So you could have accommodated, and there was not much vendors.
But you almost trying to rectify that. They was getting real low. You know, taking you hardly hearing what you're saying. But my next thing before you call up I heard you talking about it cutting down some mangrove. You elaborate on that. I don't know if you guys know I don't know if you could tell me why if he's a opposition critic, or he's just an NMP critic. But I hear you talk about as you speak, they cut down all the mangrove somewhere in St. David Downey. You could explain that for me, please? Thank you.
Well, yeah, we'll try and get information and find out what he was talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
this guy is one of the people sometimes my ears just go on mute sometimes, and I know a person just always so negative.
Sometimes he loses us.
Sometimes I just go on mute. I just can't. He just mute.
And sometimes he comes across as so angry with his own self
and arrogant.
Yeah. But his own self. He's just angry with himself. He's not basically an issue. But hey, he's a Grenadian, and he has a right to see what he's like, but with responsibility though.
Yes, indeed. "18 minutes to the hour of 12 o'clock. We'll give them that one in its entirety at the end.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, we won't give it that one in its entirety at the
because
end.
it's lunchtime, so it's a relaxing
we won't give it that one
period and,
at the end.
and
Yeah.
so, hey, good morning to BB's and the staff down there on the Carnage, BB's Crab Back. Good morning to you, my friend, and to all your hard-working workers there, dedicated.
And BB's Crab Back, where does do the rest of the crab?
Hey, that's his secret.
It's BB's Crab Back, so all the rest of the crab?
Well, no, the rest of the crab is in the crab back. When he's done with it, everything going in the crab back.
Okay.
All the meat from the foot and whatever
I passed by BB's for a long time, and that man may forget what my face look like. Anyway.
He's a very good guy.
Yeah, buddy. A real nice guy.
Wonderful Grenadian.
Yeah, Devon, I think one of the problems, I don't think we're seeing it as a problem, but what happens is that you start off with 500 people at the market or between the market and on the streets. And then person A looks at that and says, I think that is something I could do too, and decides that they're going into it as well. And they end up on the street as well. And person B say, well, my cousin doing that and she making good money, so I go in and look for a space and do it too. And you end up over a period of time where you had 500, you end up with 1,000, and then according to our good friend from Canada, you start off at 500, but you end up with 1,500. So that is what happens. So when you look at for instance, the St. George Market Square, when that idea came about to do the St. George Market Square, the amount of buses that you had to cater for, yes, it was way less than we're seeing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Way less. Some areas had one bus running, some areas had two buses running. Yeah. Now those areas that used to have 2 and 3 buses running,
20.
Exactly. The amount of buses that run in Grenville, probably what the amount of buses that used to run for the whole island. The amount of buses running on the Grenville route over the hills alone right now.
Right now it's close to 70.
And that's probably
70
that's probably the amount of buses that we had for the whole island back in those days. Because they used to fit comfortably in the market square. Right? We have gone past that stage. Now, if you go to the St. George bus terminal, you literally have millions of dollars worth of equipment down there. Millions.
Down there. Millions.
Because each bus, buses are 100 and something thousand and so on. You have, if it's 70 for Grenville alone, you can imagine. You're talking 200-300 buses at least.
It's the most lucrative business right down there in St. George and Grenville.
Yeah, but the fellas who does getting most pressure too.
For
Uncle Fluffy.
And the fellas who does sometimes really look for some of the pressure. Some of them.
But not Rex.
Well, you know what? Let me stay away from them.
Good morning, Rex. The fastest, most efficient way between Grenville and town. Rex. I know again some people vex when I say it. I know what I'm doing. Leave me alone. But Desmond, all you guys, man. You know, old dog, all my friends.
I notice a few of them upgrade now, like Soup and all these guys. They go upgrade Nissan.
I'll say this as well. Once you can drive on the island of Grenada, you can drive anywhere on the planet.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah?
Even space and all you can drive.
Yeah, man, you're driving a spaceship easy. Once you can drive on the island of Grenada, you could drive anywhere on the planet. But it's a special breed of guys that drive over that granite.
Yeah, boy. Wow.
You see those guys?
I respect them.
While others always big up Rex, you're safe with any of them.
Any one of them.
Going over that granite. These guys, you don't see about any kind of thing with them fellas going over there.
Especially bus accidents or even...
These guys are some of the safest hands you could be in, whether it's Ram or whether it's people like Crystal, whoever it is. These are some of the safest hands you could ever be in as drivers.
And a lot of experienced drivers there on that that road there, right? From the time you fellas like Stanley and oh God, so much of them.
It have people going to school now.
Oh yeah.
That Ram bring the people who teaching them parents to school, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Ram and KB and some of those guys there plying that route there for more than 30 years.
I ain't saying the East Coast drivers or the West Coast drivers behind back, you know. But I'm saying it's a special class of fellas you see going over that hill, a special class of fellas. They could real drive.
And some people don't travel over the hills, They will just take the St. David's route.
I have some friends, oftentimes when you have some friends that visit and you decide to give them a treat, so you decide, let me go with a bus over the 1910 and they grab onto the seat and they hold
when they look over
and taking corner and thing and they're watching over and they grab onto the seat and they say, I say, okay, yeah, man, I'm good. And they hold on to the seat.
And you know what I like about, I can only talk about the Grenville buses and most of the time that I travel on them. Most of the drivers and so they are very courteous. They are helpful. They are understanding. Sometimes one of them might be driving fast and passengers may not like it. They'll call up and say, "Oh, you're driving too fast," and they'll
another
tone
difficult
down.
area
That
the drivers could. You see that St. Paul's Road? It does look simple. It ain't simple,
No, it's not.
Because every time you come around a corner, you're going into the next corner. Yeah. It's just like the Granatang without the hills.
So, the amount of
serious, that's St. Paul's Road easy, you know. Them fellas who going up Mardi Gras and who going up places like Beaton La Femme, they passing through St. David's to go up Beaton La Femme, going through Red Gate, those who going up to like Windsor Forest and those areas there. Don't watch those bus drivers easy too, you know. Those fellas could handle. Because that St. Paul's Road is similar to the Granatang. It's just that the Granatang have a lot of hills. But every time you come around a corner in St. Paul's, you're coming around a corner to go into the next corner, to come around a next corner to go into a corner.
I believe
so it's difficult,
Yeah, I believe it's the area that has...
And imagine doing that at night when rain falling.
Yeah, I mean... It's,
imagine doing that at night when rain falling. And these fellas, they could handle.
Yeah, we have some excellent drivers.
Our drivers in Grenada, believe me, bus drivers, we just say all kind of thing about them. And we just quarrel with them sometime for when they're doing shoppiness, the one or two that does do shoppiness. But believe me, them fellas can handle.
Yeah, because even you could a testimony too from example, the tourists that come. You rarely hear right, complaints. I mean, while working in Ministry of Tourism, and so you really hear persons or travelers or so tourists complain about the way that our drivers drive them around, doing their tours
man.
and so.
Well,
so
Kurt,
it's just
Kurt is saying that he used to sleep on the bus and he know where he's going according to the corner.
exactly.
That's going up this St. Paul's Road there, so he know where he is based on how far that corner deep. All right, I'll come into the greens. All right, so.
Yeah, but see, even going up the Granite Town, from the time you leave Bolio and you hit Vandom, Black Forest, and you decide to take a nap, you know exactly where the corner and so.
Uprising and Tony driving since I used to go to school.
Uprising and Tony and Vaughn.
According to Kami, Tone.
Yeah, these guys been driving long. You understand? I mean, way back. So you have a lot of experience. Drivers.
Bad Fool drives that St. Paul's Road.
That St. Paul's Road again since perhaps in the 80s. And Bad Fool is a young driver anyways.
Bad Fool is a young driver, but Bad Fool is my real soldier.
Yeah, he's a young driver. Bad Fool just had a drive bus perhaps in the late 80s, perhaps early 90s.
Yeah.
Remember he was a soldier.
Pay off.
But yeah, I mean a bad soldier. So anyhow.
When you say a bad soldier, I mean he was a good soldier.
Well, you know what? As you talking about soldier, hey, be prepared. October 19th is coming up. We have a special. Right? It's a
special program, not a special activity.
Yeah,
a special program. Next thing people start to think wrong. A special program,
right? Yeah. We'll endeavor to have perhaps one or two persons giving their view on what went on during that period, right? And if most of us know that history, you will know that some of the turmoil, the noticeable turmoil within the revolutionary government appeared around September, late August, early September of 1983.
Was that around also?
Yes, when everything was just coming out. The big meeting of the Central Committee, and so when the decision was made for joint leadership and all this other thing, these things take place around the 11th and 12th, 13th of September of 1983. So, just a bit of history touching there. I don't want to get too much into it for now, but we have to pay attention to what goes on in our country. It affects us, right?
Yes, indeed. 4407377. We're quickly running out of time.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
8 more minutes to go on our program. And I'm still waiting on someone. And don't be scared. Nobody will cut you off the phone. Share your views. If you think that you're not in support of the CCJ for whatever reason, sometimes your reason might be valid. It might be something that can be taken and discussed. And so let me hear you.
And here's this, sir. Understand that this issue is not a political issue. This is not no NNP and NDC kind of thing. Because when you listen the voices of the NDC and you listen to the voices of the NNP, you realize you're hearing the same thing in relation to this issue. So it's not that, we supporting this party, so we voting that way. It has nothing to do with the political party you support. This is about our country and about the way forward.
And I'm glad that we all, the majority of us Grenadians, are beginning to speak with one voice when it comes to the CCJ, right, as to the way forward in educating ourselves much more, because it will affect us some way or the other. All right, so let us rally together, unite our people, right, and break that straw, that other straw, in gaining full independence of our nation.
Yeah, so we will be in charge. Well, not we will be in charge, but the Caribbean.
Yes, the Caribbean, the regional.
We still can't
system.
say nothing in relation to it. But at least we will have people that
we'll
understand us.
Yes, exactly.
So when I fella say, I get up early Juve morning and I went down on the carnage, and if you see me car away, and a fight break out when I jab pelt a bottle and hit the next fella on the kajam, and he pull a cutlass and a ice pick, and two of them started to fight.
And the police run and start to pat and
hit him a lash, and it looked like he butchered drop. Because I see he bend over and he holding like if it's when somebody butchered drop, it's like he butchered drop. I see he turn over. And you could imagine them lords in the Privy Council sit down there and wonder,
they lost.
What? First of all, what is Juve? Can you tell us what is Juve?
Not the chocolate, but it's a kind it's kind of Albany.
Juve? Where is the carnage? A cutlass. He had a sailor's sword.
Yeah, sailor's sword.
A sailor's sword?
Or machete.
No. You see, they know machete. They don't know cutlass. Cutlass is not machete. We say cutlass, but cutlass, what we call cutlass is really machete. A cutlass is really a sailor's sword. It's much longer than a machete. And it's a sword that is used, it's a type of sword that was used by the pirates and so it's a pirate sword. But we say cutlass. When we say that, when we say cutlass to the law lords, we're talking about that, we're talking about the pirate sword. They may know that to mean a machete. Right? They don't know it's an ice pick. They don't know when you say a jab, because they know it's a jab. Pelt a bottle and hit the man on the kajam, or you was carwaying on the... They don't know what you're talking about. They don't know what you're talking about. But you see, even though we have an Englishman and a Dutch person on the Caribbean Court of Justice, at least they could lean over to one of the judges and say, what that man talking about it? When is the Privy Council? And all of them is from England. Who they leaning over and ask a question? What are you talking about
They just watch him on like, what is going on?
But he was on the Caranage carwaying. Where's the carway?
Yeah, where's carway?
He hit him a bottle on the kajam. Where's a jab and where's a kajam? Yeah. They don't know. But at least with the Caribbean Court of Justice, there are people that understand the Caribbean, and there are people who have a broader world view because they understand the Caribbean and they understand the world. And you also have the people like the judge from the UK and the one from the Netherlands as well, so that they can also give a different perspective. Because sometimes it's good to look at things from the outside as well as look at it from the inside. Yeah. If a doctor is doing a test on you, they come, they want to do a blood test, they want to do an ultrasound, they want to do a EKG, they want to do different tests, and they also look at you outside. They want to see how your eyes look. They want to see the complexion, if your skin looking chalky, if your skin looking dry. They come, they're looking to see if they see any swelling or any rash, that kind of thing. So it's good to look at things from the inside as well as the outside. So that is how the Caribbean Court of Justice will look at issues from the inside as well as the outside. The Privy Council doesn't have the ability to do that. They can only look at things from the outside because they have nobody on the inside to say. They have nobody from the Caribbean and the Privy Council to be able to say, well, we're going to look at this from that perspective. It don't exist.
And talking a little bit of health, Sheldon, sometime next week, we must try to get some more information about that new thing that was launching in Grenada, the telemedicine. Right?
Yeah, we're going to get some more information for
Monday. Or sometime next week, where we will share more of the importance of that new type of technology brought to Grenada when it comes to our health.
Also,
very interesting.
Devon, let me joke something here.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a discussion, and we're going to get somebody from the Ministry of Health to speak with us about that. There's this new discussion about the HPV vaccine being given to children and so on. And there's this wide discussion, some parents saying they don't mind, some against it and so on. Now, let me say this. There are several vaccines that have been developed that has helped people immunize people against the HPV vaccine. Human papilloma virus is widespread. Most human beings come into contact with it. Once you're sexually active, you come into contact with it. It is one of the leading causes of cervical cancer here in Grenada and throughout the region. And it is something that is preventable. There are lots of people going to all sorts of weird sites. There are sites on the internet that tell you what you want to hear. So there are sites on the internet that telling you HPV vaccine causes these things and it don't stop it. When you ask them, well, where's the medical evidence? They have no medical evidence in relation to it. Anything you want to believe, you could find something to make you believe that on the internet. But the facts from reputable sources are that the vaccines do help if given to children, so that later on in life they cannot become infected. And it infects both male and female. It can cause things as simple as genital warts up the road to cancer. Right? Some people, it has no effect. After a while, they get over it and that sort of thing. The human papilloma virus, that is. They get over it. But in other instances, yeah, it can cause, for men, it can also lead to things like prostate cancer and so on. And it's transmitted due to sexual intercourse. Yes, same as HIV. and same as HTLV1 and all these other viruses that they have out there, they can be transmitted, via sexual intercourse. But the only one that you could prevent, and it's mainly applied to persons from children leading up to their 20s and that sort of thing. It can be applied. It does help. And I think the Ministry of Health is making a push now to immunize, make it sort of mandatory to immunize your children against HPV. But some people going on the internet and they find out kind of thing that's saying that ain't good and that kind of thing. So it is something that we need to have a discussion in relation to.
Hopefully we will.
Yeah, it is something. And it's not just for females, as I speak about cervical, it's for males and females. Yeah. Yes, same way immunize against smallpox and all sort of things. We have a caller. Good
morning and welcome. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Sheldon. How are you?
Quite fine.
I'm at work, so I'm not listening. Do you have a particular topic? I just want to, is there something that I noticed on Facebook?
Well, we kind of at 12 if you enter in a new topic right now, but we'll allow you. Go right ahead.
It's not a new topic.
Go ahead.
It's just that there is, somebody sent a friend request from me from Senator Brenda Ford, and I noticed that it was one of she, but wasn't asking about account number and stuff. So I don't know if you know one number that you can just let her know.
I'll let her know and I'll search you because I realize there's no one in the Governor General again, the Prime Minister again, on our Brenda Hood. They're creating all these fake things and they are getting money off of people.
To let you know.
Okay, my dear.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, Depot, good morning to you, my friend. Finally came.
Depot reach now.
And look at what he's saying. Guys, sea grenadiers, sweet potato, sorrel. Yeah, they are featuring prominently on the US food show.
Hey man, let us know what food show and things so we can watch too, you know.
Give us some more information about that Depot. Let us follow. Yeah, Grenada has some special sweet potato too, you know. But
I know it's not no reservations because he ain't alive again. So he dead. So no, it's not that one. I hope it's not bizarre foods because that is not bizarre food, that is food. So it better be a good one, eh? Nice. All right. Folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk. Today's been wonderful being here. And remember, this afternoon it's going to be taking place in St. Andrew Southeast at the Marquee Basketball Court, St. George Northwest Mount Moritz, St. Patrick East at the River Sally Government School, and St. George Southeast Miriam Multipurpose Center. Go out and hear from your members of parliament. They'll be speaking to you on developments, what has taken place thus far, what is taking place right now, and what is to come in the future. You can also hear about issues like the CCJ if you have one or two questions, and so you can ask them about that as well. The meeting for Brunswick and Carriacou, that has been postponed. Devon, you have the schedule.
Yes, the schedule for the Foggin team, Ministry of Health, today, the 13th in Carrier, St. Andrews, and in St. Virans from 5 p.m. Right? So go out, please pay attention to the Foggin team. It will be in your area. Take the necessary precautions to secure yourself and your family. Right? That's from the Ministry of Health. Foggin for the mosquito. Okay?
And folks, remember tomorrow, God's willing, we will be having that the Senate sitting. So we'll be broadcasting that from 9 a.m. City Sound will be joining us at 10, but 89.5, usually they join from the beginning at 9 a.m. with that Parliament sitting. So you can tune in and hear the senators and so speak on the issue of the Caribbean Court of Justice. And on Saturday, St. Andrew Northeast and Northwest, that joint meeting at the Paradise Preschool, that's Honorable Delma Thomas, Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis, St. David at the current government school, Honorable Oliver Joseph, St. George Northeast, that'll be taking place at the First Choice School in Mount Parnassus. That's the Honorable Dr. Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and Honorable Tobias Clement. Carriacou, Petit Martinique, they'll be in Petit Martinique this weekend. And South St. George and South St. George, South St. George Southeast and South St. George. Honorable Gregory Boyne, Honorable Nicholas Steele, they'll be in Calivini this Saturday. All right, folks. So that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. Remember, all those meetings are going to be starting at 6 p.m. That's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here with each and every one of you. And whatever you say and do it safe and secure. One of you speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
We are out.